Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, June 2, 2023. As the island enters the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on Jamaicans to take the necessary precautions to protect life and property. Mr. Holness is reminding persons to listen for and adhere to warnings issued by credible, relevant authorities. The Prime Minister was delivering his keynote speech at the National Disaster Risk Management Council meeting on Thursday. He emphasizes that the time has come for a no-nonsense response to the threat of natural disasters.
We need to take planning for natural disasters far more seriously, because the impact to us is existential. Meaning, a natural disaster could potentially wipe out the country. Jamaica, like many Caribbean countries, we are extremely vulnerable to natural disasters, and the human and economic costs are substantial.
According to Mr. Holness, the government has put policies in place that provide access to crucial funding in the event of a natural disaster, one of which is the National Natural Disaster Risk Financing Policy.
Jamaica became the first country in the Caribbean, and certainly the first small island developing state, to issue or sponsor a catastrophe bond. The bond is effective it is for 3 Atlantic tropical cycles, so that would end in December 2023. And in the event of an event that qualifies for payout, Jamaica would be protected up to US $185 million in rapid response.
$4 billion will be spent over the next 2 years to construct, replace, or repair 32 bridges across the island. This is in addition to $35 million that will be spent to repair rails on 15 bridges in St. James and St. Elizabeth. The announcement was made by Minister with Responsibility for Works, Everald Warmington. He was making his contribution to the 2023-24 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives on Wednesday.
The National Work Agency has already completed the design parameters for 8 of 10 bridges that we intend to replace through an allocation of $1.249 billion. Design for another 2 should be completed by the end of this fiscal year.
Minister Warmington said more than 800 bridges in the country are in poor, dilapidated condition, putting Jamaicans in grave danger. The bridges slated for attention this financial year include Troy in Trelawney, Craig Mill in Portland, Spring Village in St. Catherine, and Southwood in Clarendon. Bridges at Barham in Westmoreland, Mahogany Vale in St. Thomas, Penfield in St. Andrew, and Woodsville in Hanover are also to be rehabilitated. Minister Warmington told the House that Jamaica Broilers has contributed $50 million to assist with the construction of the Spring Village Bridge.
I want to advise the people of Spring Village, want to advise Jamaica Broilers and this House that I'm committing that $70 million along with the $50 million from Broilers to commence construction in Spring Village Bridge almost immediately.
There has been a 55.5% increase in tourist arrivals for January and February 2023 when compared to the same period last year. That's according to preliminary data released by Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, Dr. Wayne Henry, at a recent semi-virtual quarterly media briefing. Dr. Henry says Jamaica welcomed 457,996 stopover visitors for the period. Cruise passengers, meanwhile, increased to 300,237 from 110 ship calls, a marked improvement from the 49,870 visitors and 41 vessels over the same period in 2022.
Total visitor expenditure increased to US $761.6 million relative to US $276 million in the corresponding period.
According to the PIOJ head, the hotels and restaurant subsector of the services industry is a strong contributor to Jamaica's positive economic performance. The subsector grew by 30.8% for the January to March 2023 quarter.
The industry continues to benefit from increased travel in light of the continued growth in main source markets and effective marketing strategies.
Still at the press briefing, Dr. Wayne Henry says the PIOJ will this month launch a new online monitoring platform to facilitate real-time tracking of Jamaica's Vision 2030 goals.
The online monitoring platform forms part of the PIOJ's Data for Development initiative, geared towards strengthening national capacity for evidence-based policy and planning through the provision of data on development indicators for analysis and monitoring and evaluation M&E.
According to Dr. Henry, the main features of the platform include an integrated database called JAM Data with social, economic, and environmental data at the national and local levels. It will also include a Vision 2030 Jamaica monitoring dashboard that tracks national development performance.
The platform is accompanied by a JAM Data mobile application that is accessible online free of cost in the Google Play and Apple stores. The PIOJ is currently engaged in site testing and improving offerings to meet stakeholder needs.
The online monitoring platform will be launched in partnership with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. And finally, Minister of Gender Olivia Grange is urging persons who are having domestic conflicts to utilize the plethora of resolution services offered by the state. These include the domestic violence centers at police stations and the Bureau of Gender Affairs. Minister Grange made the appeal as she condemned the recent killing of Police Constable Damian Blair. In a press release, the gender minister said violence among families is one of the most troubling aspects of the violence besetting our country. While reiterating the ministry's resolve to stem domestic violence, Minister Grange called on well-thinking Jamaicans to report acts of violence. Persons are being urged to call the Bureau of Gender Affairs helpline to access counseling at 876-553-0387 or 876-553-0372. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.